on, Mooney. Welcome, folks. Hey there, Tenore. I hope I'm saying that right. We just clicked off a live stream here. Give people a few minutes to find us. This is where we're at today. Welcome. We are just getting started. While we wait for people to find the stream, check out Mooney here. Her real name is Takik. She's one of the wolf ambassadors at our nonprofit. Hey guys. Welcome everybody. I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy here. What's up, folks? How's everybody? We are just kicking off a live stream. I thought I'd give people a few minutes to join. But in the meantime, feel free to ask your questions. That's why I live stream when I'm out on enrichment patrols with our animals. This evening I'm out here with Mooney. Her real name is Takik, which means moon in Inuktitut. She's a 2-year-old female member of our constellation pack. She's got an idea about going down the mountain we just climbed up. But we're gonna, she can also hear, I don't think the audio is good enough to pick it up, but her family back at the habitat about a half a mile or 3/4 of a mile away as a crow flies is howling. I can barely hear it, but obviously she can hear it perfectly. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Thank you. Have fun on Roblox. Hey, Leah. Hey, Saul. I can just barely hear him in the distance. I don't think that the mic is near sensitive enough to do it. Come on, Mooney. She's pretty focused. If there wasn't all this wind noise and ambient noise, plus there's a jet going over. Those are Stellar's jays you hear making all the noise. Hey, Yami, what's happening here? Why isn't Akutak with the pack? Okay, that is a great question. So Akutak is our oldest animal. She's 14 and a half. And so the girls are really spicy. It's interesting because in the wild, it's the boys that are the fighters. But in captivity, almost everybody that works with wolves will tell you it's the girls that cause trouble. So Sunny and Mooney are both 2 years old, and they are pretty feisty. And so then we have Nepenthe, our Malamute, and we have 2 boys, Iknik and Nunaryak. And so the boys are really respectful of Akutak. Like, if they play too rough and she says, don't do that to me, they're respectful and they treat her gently. And Nepenthe is really sweet with Akutak. Akutak loves everybody. But Mooney and Nepenthe, the dog, don't like each other anymore, and they would get in a big old fight. And so we have to keep them separated. And then Sunny is a little pushy with Akutak, and we worry a fight could start. And then the other problem we run into is that when we separate Mooney, too many wolves. When we separate Mooney and Sunny for any length of time, when we put them back together, they tend to have little disputes that could escalate. In fact, once we get closer to... She's making a call home. We'll let her do that real quick here. Hey, Laura, welcome. Mama Nova, welcome. Haha. Yes, this is. I think that's I don't know how to say your username. Spuote. Keith, welcome. What forest are we reviewing here? So we're up here in the Tahoe National Forest. And she's listening to her family. I don't think the mic picks it up, but I can hear them pretty clearly when there's so much noise today. It's crazy. It's like construction traffic or something down below. We're up on a mountain, obviously, here. So I've had Mooney for her whole life minus 11 days, and she is 2.5 years old. So I've had her, like if you go through my, if you go on my channel and look, you'll see teeny tiny Mooney. In fact, there's a pretty recent video of one of her first visits to the vet where she's all feet and ears. But now she's, I would call her, so technically she'd be considered an adult, but I consider them full adults when they're 3 years old. So she's like a maturing sub-adult in my experience. She still has certain puppy characteristics. Wolves take a long time to fully mature, like three to 4 years before they're really, like in the wild, they're really capable of doing everything a wolf needs to do and know. Oh, hey, Yogi. Yeah, I tell you, losing your dog is the hardest thing of all. My heart dog, my Malamute, passed at 14 and a half, 2024, and I'm still burning a candle every day. I just can't let it go. I tear up even talking about it, honestly. But so you'll see that when I'm out on a hike with one of these animals, what we're doing is all about the animal and not about me at all. You'll see I'm kitted out like pretty much like a survivalist, because when I go out with these animals, first of all, they get to make a lot of the decisions, and that means we hike through terrible crap, right? They'll go through streams, they'll hike through, this stuff here is called whitethorn, and it's just straight up thorns, and they don't care, so I have to be able to handle that. I have to be prepared for any emergency, because obviously, you know, it's a little different to have one of these animals out on a, I mean, look at the leash we have here. See, it's thicker than my thumb. And this leash would only keep her for about 60 seconds if she got busy trying to chew through it, which means that if I have an accident, the very first thing I do is I take I'm carrying a big pack. I don't know if you all can see it there. And there's a 16-foot aircraft cable in there, and I switch her from the rope to a cable that she can't chew through if there's an emergency, so I can sit, or if I'm like if I'm gonna park and have lunch, then I would switch her out to a cable, just because this, and for reference, I have a double XL hand. I have big hands, and you can see this rope is thicker than my thumb. It's attached to me with a big old belt so that if I fall down, I don't lose my grip. Her temperament, so we call this one Mooney Badger, the Angry Weasel. She is, to me, the most crazy loving, sweetest. I mean, I can take food out of her mouth if I had in an emergency. So Mooney has a great backstory. So let me tell you guys about Mooney. So when I arranged to acquire this particular animal, we are not a rescue per se. We've done some rescue, and a lot of people would say that every animal in our care is a rescue because there is nowhere better, so we save them from being anywhere not as good as us. But we're an education program principally, so we do science and education with our animals. And so these are educational animals, so we get them very early so that we can imprint them and do stuff like what I'm doing right now, like take them out of their habitat, or take them in a car, or do a presentation, or handle them to put like tracking collars that we want to test. Like we work with the company Phi that makes those amazing dog tracking collars. And so we get our animals very, very early. And because of that, I'm very particular about what I get. And so I make all kinds of arrangements to get there very early, to evaluate the whole litter, to get pick of the litter. Like I'm probably the hardest buyer in the country. And so when I went to go get Mooney, I got Mooney from a friend, a good friend of mine. And she already had an animal picked out for me when I got there. So I got there, the puppies were just like 11 days and 10 days old. And she had this girl picked out for me, and she's like, this is the one. This animal is the pick of the litter. She's my champion this year. And for sure, it was this one girl, I called her Berta. She was bigger than all the boys. She was obviously the genetic champion of the particular litter. But I was there for a while to help her bottle feed the pups, and I like to spend a few days watching everybody and just trying to gauge their temperament and figuring out. I already had picked up another puppy, Sunny, who some of you know about, from another location. So I had Sunny with me. And so while I'm there, this one little black puppy, she was kind of the runt of the litter, actually. She was the smallest one. That my friend was even like, I don't even know if this one's going to make it. She's so little. And she just was obsessed with me. She would crawl out of the, after everybody's fed, usually they just go in a big puppy pile and they sleep. They're all satisfied. And she would crawl out of the pile and just stare at me while I was bottle feeding a different puppy. And she just had this very obvious, like, obsession with me. And my friend even was like, I don't think I've ever seen an animal so focused on a person in my life. And so I started to kind of like her, you know, like she was trying real hard. And, but, you know, I for my program, I was like, you know, kind of inclined to get the champion animal. I trusted my friend. But I couldn't make up my mind because I like black wolves. The other one was going to be a white wolf. And I like black wolves. And she started to just worm her way into my heart. And so I said, what should I do? Like, I know this is going to be your genetic champion, but I'm really starting to like this black one. And she said, well, why don't we put Sunny with Berta? We were calling her Big Berta. and see how that goes. And then we'll do the same thing with Mooney. And so we put Sunny and Berta together, and it was like hatred at first sight. They both started getting their hackles up and trying to stand on top of each other. And I was like, whoa, at this point, they're like 15 days old, and they're already, they don't have teeth. Their eyes are barely open. Their ears are still flat. And they're already trying to hurt each other. I'm like, whoa, I don't think that's going to go very well over the long haul. And then I put Mooney in with Sunny, and they were like, let's take a nap together. And I was like, okay, it looks like Mooney's coming home with me. So, most of my animals I chose, but Mooney chose me. And don't roll in the coyote poop, please. Thank you. And what's interesting is it's like Mooney knew. Mooney knew that she won me. And as a result of that, her behavior is very interesting. So, for example, when we move, our habitat is set up so we can move animals from one area to another, so that everybody gets like the bigger section or the smaller section. At night, they all go in the smaller section, so I can keep an eye on everybody. And when they all run from one section to another, there's a double gate that lets me control to make sure nobody goes where I don't want them. And they all go rushing through the double gate when it's both open. Mooney always turns around and comes back and jumps up to give me a kiss. It's just like she thanks me over and over every day. She's the most affectionate animal to me, but she also she's feisty. She has an attitude. That's why we call her Mooney Badger, the angry weasel. But with me, she's the best. But like any of these animals, they're super territorial. She would kill another dog if it came running up to us off a leash. I have to be very aware of it. Like, I don't hike where other people hike, obviously. Or, we avoid. But yeah, I'm definitely Mooney's human. Except for that Akutak owns the house. So Akutak, being old, likes to sleep indoors on a soft bed. And so Akutak sleeps with me most nights. But if she didn't, then Mooney would for sure be in the house. Mooney's pretty easy going in the house. Everyone else is jumping up on the counter straight away. Mooney will be cute and sort of snuggle. She's very cuddly with me, almost too much. Like, she'll ruin my clothes to try to grab onto me and get extra kisses. All my clothes have holes, every single thing. So yeah, that's temperament. Welcome, folks. My goodness, there's so many of y'all. I hardly know you. So let me do a quick intro. I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. I'm the founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center and author of the best-selling Wolfer's Guide to Raising Dogs. If you really love dogs and want to learn about how to give them their best life, it's not a training book. It's on Amazon and books.by. And Mooney here is posting a no trespassing sign. So when dogs do this, they're saying, I was here. When wolves do this, they're saying, no trespassing. They're super territorial, and they really enforce territorial boundaries like an angry hillbilly, right? Like you see in the signs that say, never mind the dog, beware the owner. That's mind the dog right there. And Mooney is super intense. If she was a wild animal, she'd be an animal that was dispersing to go lead her own family group. She would leave her family, I think, to go find a man. Now, in our case, her man is Icknick, our big black male. The minute I brought him home, it was obvious Icknick and her were just for each other. Icknick could have had his pick of Sonny or Mooney. And he likes Sonny. He loves Mooney. He's just all about Mooney. Thank you very much, Savannah. Yeah, Mooney has a wonderful coat. So y'all ask questions, please. That's why I'm doing this, is to answer your questions. We do, when I'm out on these, I call them patrols, because wolves patrol their territorial boundaries a lot. It's what they do when they're kind of scoping for their food, and they're also looking to make sure that no other wolves are trying to sneak into their territory and invade their space. And so I call our hikes together patrols. So when I'm out live streaming on a patrol, my goal is to answer your questions and educate you all about what we do and about wolves or even dogs. I got 40 years of this work under my belt now. Mooney is a little over 2. She's like 2.5. Hey, Brady. So the way our habitat is set up, small animals go through there all the time, like birds and chipmunks, squirrels, rabbits, and they kill those things sometimes. They rarely eat them. Wolves are really big animal specialists when it comes to what they prefer to eat. Well, there are some wolves that eat beavers and also otters, sea otters. The wolves in Vancouver Island area are otter specialists. But most wolves eat elk, deer, bighorn sheep, bison, moose, caribou, musk oxen, stuff like that. And so obviously we're not going to get a deer and let it loose in their habitat. That wouldn't be fair or right. We do feed them roadkill deer. We get phone calls when a deer gets hit around us, and we go pick it up and give them the whole carcass. So she lives with 4 others. Well, 3 others principally. Her sister from another mother, Sonny, who's just 3 days apart from her, and then Nunaryak, who's a year younger. He's one of our male puppies. He was actually a rescue, and then Icknick, our 6-year-old male, who is her boyfriend for sure. See, what happened was I promised Icknick I'd get him a girlfriend, and he just kept telling me that he was such a big, awesome wolf that he deserved 2 girlfriends. So I got him 2 girlfriends, and then he was like, Dad, this is too many girlfriends. And so he's very much partial to Mooney here. They really look alike. Like if we ever let them breed, they would have 75% black puppies, at least, maybe even 100%, depending on some genetic admixture stuff. Because they look very similar to each other. Oh, no, they don't attack me. I mean, I hand raise these guys. I'm part of their family. I bottle fed them. We do a tremendous amount of work every single day. Like I spend hours a day in their habitat, working with them, handling them, taking them on hikes, bringing them in the car, visiting the vet, hand feeding them, photographing them, doing this kind of stuff. It's mainly what I do. Well, I'm walking. Sorry, man. I'm out on a hike in the woods. So this is the live stream you got. It's the best I can do here. Hi there, Joe. No, we don't do that. So these are conservation grade animals, and so their breeding is very restricted. And the only way we would ever breed the animals is as part of an increase in the scope of our project, which would be we very much want to buy a big piece of land where we live. It's actually a golf course right now on a major thoroughfare, and rewild it and open a science center that would be fully open to the public. And if we can get the permitting to do it, then we'll breed to have the exhibit pack. But thanks for asking. I know they're so gorgeous, right? I do get that request quite a lot because people are like, wow, I would love a puppy out of something like that. But they're just, they're selective. Like, I don't think Mooney, for example, would ever breed with an animal other than ICNIC. Wolves tend to mate for life, and they choose their partners very carefully. They're much more selective than dogs. And I know for sure that ICNIC would not breed Sunny, even if Sunny was an estrus. He just wouldn't do it. You could just tell. Sunny's like his little sister, and Mooney's like his girlfriend. Isn't this a beautiful forest? And we're about to get by one of my favorite trees in this part of the forest here. I gotta show you something cool. I love this giant leaning tree. It's like, it grew crooked, and then it grew, oh, Mooney's not letting me go. She's having a little grass. So wolves like to eat grass. It's good for them. It refreshes their breath. It gives them a little bit of fiber in their diet. They don't really digest the grasses. It just kind of passes through them. But it's a normal part of their diet, especially in the spring after a long winter. They'll consume the early grasses. So my background is conservation biology, Bessie. I studied wolf biology in college, got in a fight with my program, realized that working for the government as a wolf biologist was not going to be the right fit for me. Became an entrepreneur and began my own nonprofit to work with wolves privately and do the conservation and education work I believed was the most important. And that's given me the opportunity to live with wolves for almost 40 years. So there are definitely people that have spent more time watching wild wolves. There are very few people that have spent as much time as me living with captive wolves. And this is that tree I was talking about here. It's absolutely giant. It's like I'm guessing it's probably 12 stories high, this tree. And you see how it bends? And so it's really interesting because on one side, it's really, really thick and the root system spreads out to offset that huge mass that overleans. It's just giant. I love it. It's still catching the sun, even though we're in shadow now. Minnie, can we go this way? Well, I'm getting the red light on my battery. I've got a backup, but I got to get to it. Give me 1 sec here. Sorry for the shakiness here. I gotta untangle a charging cable and plug it into my backup battery here. I've talked through the whole battery. Sorry about this, folks. Just give me 1 sec here. At least I didn't have to change out headlamp batteries yet. Yep. What is going on? No, I don't want to end my life. That's what I'm doing. Sorry, folks. Struggling a little bit. What happened here? I have some kind of a challenge here, and it looks like it's me. What is going on here? Did that fix it? There we go. I don't know. I was changing my battery and I hit a button. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, Sky, what's going on? Look at Mooney. She's got her winter coat. All right, I'm just getting this here plugged into my battery backup here. All right, back in business. Mooney. We're supposed to get snow starting Monday. Yeah, it's we got a winter storm warning, first one of the season. There's actually a little bit of snow on the high peaks, but I'm not high enough for that. Well, it's still nice out here. What's up, everybody? So for those of you that are wondering, this is Mooney. Actually, her name is Takik, which means moon. She's a 2-year-old female, and she is one of the ambassador animals at my nonprofit, the Tahoe Wolf Center. Yeah, so this is principally Ponderosa and red and Douglas fir at this elevation. Higher up, we have some spruce. We also have sugar pine and Jeffrey's pine. And so the fat, round, spiky cones like that are Ponderosa cones. And then we have I don't see any on the ground here, but we have these big, long, super-sized cones, and those are from Jeffrey's. But this is mostly, so this is a red fir tree that I'm standing next to. They look more like Christmas trees. And the Ponderosa is like the one right in front of me, that big fat one there, that's a Ponderosa. Fun fact, when you get up close to a big old Ponderosa and you sniff the bark, it smells like almonds, like amazing. It has vanilla and almonds, has an amazing smell. But people don't believe me, and they think I'm just trying to make them go sniff a tree and look like a fool. But then they do it, and they're like, oh my God, you're right. It smells like vanilla and almonds. Oh, bear dragged garbage in the woods. We're right in the middle of black bear habitat here. We see a lot of bears. And coyotes, mostly bears and coyotes. There's very few deer up here, no elk. Sometimes we see bobcats. Lower down on the mountainside, you see mountain lions. And hi to everybody. Zoom out. There you go. And Mooney's obviously on the scent of something here. I don't know what it is. That's bear poop. She's always looking to roll in some good fresh bear poop. Got to be on my A game so she doesn't do that. Thank you. Yeah, if you like the stream, if you want to support us, there's a few ways you can do that. If you want to support my nonprofit, everything that comes in through our work online goes to support the animals. We spend $15 per animal per day just on their food, so it's very expensive. You'll notice if you've been watching this stream, I don't spend a lot of time begging for money, and I never email anybody begging for money. What did you pick up? Oh, come here. Now you get to see how much Mooney and I work together. Don't eat coyote poop. Thank you. There aren't. Oh, wow. This isn't coyote poop. That's a surprise, actually. So they really, really like, and this is what she's been tracking. I hadn't seen any prints, but she's all about it now. Come on, Mooney. I just came across deer pellets. There are some small herds of deer, but not many. But whenever we come across those, the wolves tend to want to eat those pellets. I think it's one of the ways that they get pre-digested vegetable material into their diet in the wild. But also I think that they just, that's their natural food. And they're like, oh, I'm on the trail now. And they're sort of like capturing the scent in a deeper way. Oh, and guys, bear with me for 1 sec here. I'm going to put you in my little harness. I just noticed something I don't like about the way her collar is. I'm going to fix it. Come here. Come here. Mooney is really, in a lot of ways, she's my favorite for handling. She's just nice to me when I have to do anything. Like if I have to give her a medication or her vaccinations or put her on a leash or get her in the car, she's my best. Her and Nick are my two best. Everyone else is kind of a giant. Well, Sonny will go in the car easy, but otherwise she's a pain in the ass. But Mooney is super sweet. So anyway, I was saying, if you want to support us, I have a merch shop associated with my YouTube. I've got some fun merch with Mooney's boyfriend on it. And obviously any support you want to give here. And if you subscribe to the channel and you get me a message with your mailing address, I send you a real world Wolfie gift, something you pretty much can't get anywhere except for maybe from another very involved wolf person. Got the fading light here. So beautiful today. So we've got 5 wolves. So this wolf is Canis lupus occidentalis. That's just your typical northern North America timber wolf. What is a wolf person? Hey, Colleen, what's happening? I'm always amazed at how my friends find me when I'm online, like people I've known for years and years. And shout out to those people. You know who you are. I love you guys. Out here with our Mooney today. Some of the people on here made it possible for me to do my work with Mooney. I don't name names because I respect people's privacy, but you know who you are. What? Let it off the leash. Okay, so I understand that you want to see her go run. Her habitat is big enough that she can run plenty. Where I am right now, that would be illegal and it would put my permits at risk. It would also put her at risk because this is actually quite a timid animal. If she came across a person, she might bolt, and I do have a tracking collar on her, but why would I jeopardize my permits or her safety and security? We do occasionally go in very, very remote locations where it's legal to have an animal loose and do like filming. If you scroll down in my channel, you can see that. I do most of that with a different wolf though, one that's not afraid, because that way there's less risk of anything going wrong. Sorry guys, I gotta plug my phone back in. I forgot I unplugged the little charger here to handle her collar for a sec there. Get its power. I'm catching up on the comments there. Give her a chomp. Oh, I chomp her all the time. Yes, David. Feast on her soul, crave her power. I feast on her beauty and the fact that she's this extraordinary animal that I get to share my life with her. So that's my feast every day. Oh, there's a human hat. Let's see what she does. She might pick it up and shake it. Someone has dropped a hat. What's she gonna do? See, that's how well I know my animals. She wants to make sure it's dead. So she's more inclined to hunt things when she's in our habitat. The habitat is very large. And so we have chipmunks, squirrels, rabbits, mice, birds of all kinds. And given an opportunity, she'll kill those. But when we're out here, she's more focused on exploring and marking her territory. So if you like this kind of content, you can obviously subscribe to my channel. We're not one of those super promotional, always asking you to do stuff. I'm mostly here just to educate people and share these remarkable animals with the world. I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at there. I see something out of place. I don't know if this will zoom. See the blue over there? It's almost like, I do run into homeless encampments here from time to time, and those are pretty sketchy. Mostly because I worry about drug paraphernalia being strewn about. It's just somebody sitting on a rock with a big backpack. I don't know what the hell that is over there. Mooney ain't gonna want to go anywhere near it. How old do wolves get? So no, wolves are not for sale. And my oldest animal right now is 14 and a half. That's pretty old, but she's still doing good. And the oldest wolf I've ever heard of, where I really believed the age because I saw the animal, was 22. But that is a crazy outlier. 15, 16, 17 is like an outlier for sure. Can I get Mooney to howl? Thank you, George, for sharing that. It's the way I explain it to people who think that wolves make good pets is that dogs are pets and wolves are a lifestyle. Imagine having something as smart as a 7-year-old child that's carrying a handgun all the time. That's kind of how you have to live to be responsible. It's non-trivial. It's really non-trivial. There's not more than 90% of all high content wolf dogs in private hands end up dead or rehomed before they're 3 years old. It's not zoomed in. It's as zoomed out as it can get right now. Sorry. So Mooney is super shy with people she doesn't know. She really only will come up to very few people. I have 2 neighbors that she likes. Obviously, she loves my wife, but for the most part, I'm her human. I am her one and only human that she really cares about. Good. How are you?
All right.
So she's pretty used to bike. She didn't react much to a bike. She just watched it go by. And yeah, these are custom flat collars that we have. They also have a nameplate on them. And we like those because they're indestructible. They have a reflective strip. So we use 2 collars on a hike. We have a round collar with the tracker and the big flat collar. And the other reason for the big flat collar is that if they're going to pull, it distributes the pressure. Once an animal's grown, we don't use harnesses because I found that they add risk for injury based upon how they behave in a harness. So I've had wolves for almost 40 years now. All right, so now Bingus has asked a question about peeing. So peeing in the spot doesn't in any way, so all wolves in a family mark their territory. Once wolves are somewhat mature, they scent mark more aggressively. They scrape, they lift their legs. Both the males and the females lift their legs. But there is one behavior that's super interesting about peeing, which is called marking over. It's also called a reinforcing scent mark. And that's what the mated pair will do. Like, so in a wolf pack, the alphas are really mom and dad. And so say the female scent marks something, the male will come over and pee right on top of it, not to show dominance, but to reinforce it, to say like, the female saying, this is our spot, and the male saying, yeah, this is our spot. And so when I pee, my dominant female, a kutak, my old lady, will come over and pee on it. And actually, funny story, my embarrassing but funny story. So my wife comes up to me, this is a couple years ago, and she says, honey, come in here. She's in the bathroom. I come in the bathroom. And she's like, we have a problem. And I said, oh, really? What's the problem? And she says, it smells like pee in here. You're coming in the night and you're peeing all over the place. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I have good aim. I have a toilet nightlight. It's not me. And she goes, yeah, it's you. And I said, you know what, honey? I smell pee too, but it smells like wolf pee, which is like cat pee on steroids. It's really strong. It's not your average dog pee. I said, I smell wolf pee. I said, you know what I think's happening? I said, you know how a kutak marks over when I pee outside? She goes, yeah. I said, I think she's coming in here because she could smell I'm peeing in the bathroom, and she's marking over the toilet at night. And my wife is like, no way, she's not doing that. And sure enough, while we're talking, a kutak comes in and pees all over the toilet. And so I was like, okay, you could give me my $100 now. So while I'm standing here talking, we had, I think this is a police officer on a walk. It's kind of weird, but a kutak sort of was like, or a Mooney was sort of like, not sure about that. She's a little shy of it, but she's curious. So let's see what she wants to do. She wants to kind of follow the people. We just fed Mooney for a whole day. I love that. Wow. That was super nice, folks. Really grateful for that. Haven't seen you in a minute, Ferris. Hope you're doing good. And by the way, for those of you that see the special emoji next to Ferris, who's one of our channel members, that's actually a representation of Mooney. If you could see it big, it's actually Mooney. So thank you guys very, very much for that. Sorry, I'm trying to read some comments here. So I did a whole long video. Free food right there. You're going to laugh. I have a sign in front of my property that says trespassers are welcome. Wolf food is expensive. Obviously, we don't feed them the trespassers. I eat the trespassers. Soylent Green is people. All right, where's Mooney taking me now? We haven't gone this way in a while, huh, Mooney? Do you want to go that way? Thank you so much. That was so nice of you. Junky flesh would be good nourishment. Is there a Bigfoot? I've never seen a Bigfoot here. Yes, Maddie, you're absolutely right. Maddie used to be 19. She's since passed, but yeah. So she's pretty relaxed right here, actually. So that's a relaxed tail. When her tail's tucked, it's really all the way under her belly. What would happen if I kicked the wolf? Why would I ever kick a wolf? I love these animals more than I love any human. So we feed them roadkill when we can get it. The rest of the time, we actually make their food. We make these carnologues of grass-fed beef and wild game and other ingredients. And go to my live streams. You can actually watch us making their food. Yeah, the girl I originally picked. Thank you very much, Leah. Leah, so if you will do me a tiny favor so I can send you a present, um, if you send me an email with your mailing information to Tahoe Wolf Center at gmail.com with your username here and your mailing address, and I will be sending you in the mail a real Wolfie gift. Feed them local homeless. Is there more than one? I have four, five. How many do I have? I have four other wolves, and I have a dog. I'm just catching up on your comments here. I would never, ever, 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 ever put a newborn child next to a wolf. Most of the people that talk about doing that or think they did that are actually have dogs that somebody sold them as a wolf. No professional, no true professional who does this work would ever take the chance of putting animals with significant wolf content, let alone pure wolves, with babies. Why? It's absurd. It's dangerous. You're asking for injury or fatality, not because they're inherently mean animals, but babies are small, they're weak, they're soft, they do unpredictable things, they make unpredictable sounds. Wolves have an incredibly strong prey drive. There is no truth to the myth that wolves raise humans. It just doesn't work like that. They couldn't even if they wanted to. Romulus and Remus is an allegory. It's not a true story. I am sorry for that. Yeah, this is my time. I go out. The reason I do that is because this is when wolves tend to be most active. At the waning hours of the day, they're what we call crepuscular, which means that they're twilight. So dawn and dusk animals. And dawn is hard for me. I keep late hours. So I like to take them out and then I bring them back and we feed. And that also, that strategy also helps me in that if something terrible happened and somebody ever got loose, they know that feeding time is next. And so they're likely to head home to get food. So it's just another one of the things we do as professional. Jungle Book, not a true story. All right, so we can give a try. I don't know if she'll do it right now. She's pretty distracted by the scent of the people that came by, but we'll give a shot for you. Mooney. I could actually hear, I'm about a mile and a half away. And after I howled, I could hear my other animals responding. I just don't think Mooney's interested in howling right now. She might do it in a second, though. So, hey, Natalia, because we're a nonprofit that has dedicated itself to educating the world about how interesting and important these animals are. And right now we're on an enrichment activity. So my animals live in a large natural habitat that looks just like this, only with fencing. But I also take our animals out so they can explore. It's amazing. I can hear all my animals howling back in their habitat. They're like a mile and a half away. Mooney might actually howl in a second. She's like, no, I'm pretty concerned about the people that walked by. You can tell that she's concerned because her ears are kind of pinched together. That's a little bit of the stressed out ear position. It's like a little bit of what I call hypervigilance. Like she's not scared, but she's focused. The ears are pulled back like that. Strange to see people out here, that's why. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but boy, at Icknick, I can hear Icknick right now. Icknick gets real upset when I take his girlfriend out on walks without him. And so he's howling up kind of a storm right now. Thank you very much, Mama Nova. I really appreciate that. So all my wolves get along with my dog except Mooney. Mooney wants to kill my dog. They loved each other the most when the dog was a baby, a tiny puppy. And then one day they got into some kind of argument and the dog didn't know enough to back down. She tried to fight Mooney. And ever since then, if they even see each other, they hurl themselves at each other. Like I have to keep them carefully separated. Like they would go through a glass door to kill each other. It's really a tricky situation. It's the one big challenge I have actually is that her and my dog hate each other, which is sad because they loved each other the most before. Oh, we're back to the hat. She turned around. For a minute there, I thought we were going to go on a much longer loop. Now she's skeptical of the hat. She thinks it's dead. All right. Yeah, it's sad they don't love each other anymore. And it's not a fixable situation either. Like, especially with the females, like male canids can get in a big old fight and then they can forgive each other. But with females, it's kind of like human women. Like, dudes can get in a big old fight, beat the shit out of each other and end up drinking at the bar with matching shiners. But female, like when my wife gets mad at a friend of hers, it's kind of like the end of the world. That's it. She'll hate that ex-friend forever. And Mooney's kind of like that. Like once they pick a fight with each other, it's just an animosity that never quits. So oldest animal, who's 14 and a half, spends a fair bit of time in the house because she sleeps inside with me. But the others tend to have a wild rumpus in the house, and so we have to really be on top of it. It's not like, oh, everybody came inside in the blizzard and now they're all sleeping on the, you don't get to have the hurricane party where all the dogs are having fun. It's more like he's on the counter, he's tearing up the sofa, he stole your clothes, he's chewing your backpack. Okay, that's enough. We're putting him out. That's more what it's like. One at a time, sometimes I can get the other animals to settle. If I give them something good to chew on, like they might park, like if they're well fed and then they get like a big, I call bully sticks peeper bones because that's what they are and it's funny. But if like they get a big fat bully stick after a big fat meal and there's just one of them in the house, then they might settle down and have a good long chew. And if I'm lucky, they'll go to sleep for a while. But the minute they wake up, I got to get up. So we're close enough that Mooney probably would howl. It's just that she got kind of spooked by that couple, and for whatever reason, whenever anybody's in uniform, wolves don't like it. There's something about uniforms and the sidearms and stuff that maybe they smell the guns. I really don't know, but she was one of the people that walked by was some kind of law enforcement, and she got nervous. Now she's relaxing more. And there's a good chance she'll howl when we get a little bit further down this trail because we get close. We're turn the corner of heading back towards where we were. Well, there are places to park down below. There are trails here that are a few miles, and like there's a few loops in here. We're kind of on the edge of a ski resort, so there's parking at the ski resort. What do we do to help them not be destructive in the house? We mostly don't let them in the house. They ruin your house. They ruin your house. I like to joke that there was a time when I had nice things, and now I have things that used to be nice that are currently covered with moving blankets and held together with duct tape. And that's not really an exaggeration. Our house is ruined because of we do something very unusual. I don't really know anyone else that does it, but my home, the whole house is inside the wolf habitat. It's fully within it. Like I have to get my groceries by these guys. And so we have a much different relationship with our animals than most people. Even people that are, highly professional have usually the habitats for their wolves separate from their home. Like maybe they'll have their puppy pen up against their house, but to have the whole habitat in the whole house inside the habitat, like they're slowly eating the deck off the house. Like the handrail to the stairs to go to my front door is all chewed up. I have to have a second set of security gates inside my mother because when the door to the wolves want to bolt through the door and get in the house, and so I have to have an extra security door to keep them from doing that and to prevent Mooney here. Oh, sorry guys. I have huge hands. I tag stuff wrong. Thanks, George, for letting me know. And Reverie, I am right there with you. I find there are some professionals out there that are doing really nice education stuff, but those mostly tend to be either really good rescues like my friends at Apex Protection Project, or the folks at Wolf Park right now are doing a remarkable collaborative care series. I mean, they're next level in the stuff they do with their wolves for collaborative care. Every time I see one of those videos, I'm like, damn, I need to learn that one too. They're amazing. The International Wolf Center does educational videos with their captive pack. But then, like you said, Reverie, there are a lot of people who are all about show, right? They're all about ego and social cred. Most of them know nothing about the biology of their animals. And there's people that do this work because they want the world to see and understand and love and care about wolves, to encourage their preservation as a species on the landscape. And then there's people that want to say they got a wolf. And there's unfortunately way too many of those people. Basically, none of them have actual wolves, but they may have very high content wolf dogs that look essentially exactly like a wolf. And they're just all about promoting themselves and trying to make money on social media. And then there's some people in the middle. And I'm not going to name names because I don't want to pick fights, but like there is a super, super popular channel. Super popular. And the guy works for some kind of a zoo. And he's got millions of subs, millions. And it's very clear his animals love him. He's good with his animals. But it's also very clear that they don't live in the best environment. And with the revenue that somebody that's got millions of subs could make, they ought to do better by the animals. And that's all I'm going to say. I believe that these animals need to be in a biologically appropriate habitat that gives them room to run, to dig, to climb on high places, to be wolves. You know, they don't belong in suburban backyards or in 20 by 10 kennels or, you know, and to me, I mean, most of the really top tier facilities don't do what I do. A lot of them have restrictions against it, but I believe that taking the animals out like I do, as often as I can, all year round, is critical to their development intellectually. Like, you know, all the pumpkins and stuff in the world you put in their habitats doesn't remotely make up for not getting them out, right? I mean, you can give them beach balls and pumpkins and bones and carcasses and, you know, for enrichment, you know, but this is the most important enrichment, is just being out and exploring a bigger landscape and giving them the opportunity to do the things that wolves do in the wild, which is, you know, mark territory that's big and you know, track down other things on scent and in the air and make their own decisions. Like, I really wanted to go down there, and Mooney wanted to go over here. Yes, this is Takik. Hey, Michael Brown, how's it going, buddy? So we're coming. The reason that I'm not so sad that we came over here is now I get a beautiful view of the lake here. Oh, Wicknick is loud. My goodness, he's loud right now. He's super sad that Mooney's with me. Mooney. Supposed to get snow starting, I guess today's the 11th. Yeah. I've been stressing about the calendar. I've got a lot of stuff going on. Oh, goodness. Okay. Do I have a room to put things in the habitat? Well, I mean, they steal stuff, so that's how stuff ends up in the habitat. But we don't really hide stuff because the thing is that we're like the core enrichment right in the middle of the habitat, because what they try to do is get in the house and steal stuff. So we actually don't have to like put artificial stuff there. Like I said, I think that stuff is a poor substitute for out. Thank you very much, David. I appreciate that. Hello from Mexico. Thank you. It's my house. Well, I try not to make it too easy, but unfortunately, when your house is in the habitat, they're smarter than us. Like, I mean, they are paying attention to everything we do wrong, and all it takes is one slip up, and they're in, right? I mean, oh my God, the other day, the weather changed and the door swelled up a little bit, and we left the house, and my wife even said to me, she goes, you know, I'm not sure the door is closed good. And I was like, well, it's kind of late for you to bring that up now that we're 20 miles away. And I kind of forgot about it. And as we're driving up to the house, I see a crack of light where there's not supposed to be a crack of light. And I look, and sure enough, the door's open. And they had just discovered it. Like, we got very, very lucky. Like, they had maybe only figured out the door was open 5 minutes before we rolled up, and they were like perplexed because we weren't home. And so they were sort of afraid that, like, they were poking their nose in the door and then jumping out and poking their nose in the door and jumping out. And we saw it all on the security camera. Watching Mooney watch the guy go by on his bike. Well, days are weird. Like today we found 2 human hats. Like I never see hats. Today there's 2. Oh, now I really hear Icknick, my gosh. Because we're like 3/4 of a mile away. And they're, oh, what's wrong? Oh, she just caught wind of that hat and she's like, where's the person? I had an issue with Icknick here the other day too. He didn't really want to go this way either. Like I'm trying to move us towards home now and she's like a little sketched. So I have to just kind of, yeah, that's Icknick. Come on, Mooney, let's go see Icknick. So now you'll notice I will coax her, but I will not drag her. So if she doesn't want to do this, we'll have to go around. But she's relaxing now. I am super patient with my animals. One of the mistakes that I see that people make with dogs, with wolves, it's even worse because the amount of patience you've got to have when they're afraid of something is endless. It's just bottomless. There is no limit to how patient you need to be. And that's one of the reasons why people just don't have the time or the patience to deal with complicated behaviors. This guy with a bike just came by here, and so she's a little nervous about it. But we're going to get where he probably wasn't here in a sec. And I'm guessing in a minute she's going to respond to them just to let them know where she is. That's called a check-in howl. Yeah, we'll get it. She'll let him know in a second here, I'm pretty sure. Come on, Mooney. Can we go this way? So we're going to go down this like little drainage here that's kind of steep and dark at the bottom. And you can see that she's become a little bit stressed about some smells here. Yeah, well, a Kutak is the worst about that. A Kutak will be like, no, I'm not going home. And she'll just and when she realizes that we're really going home, then she'll slow walk me. She'll just like put herself into I'm barely going to move mode and just make me just plod like up the last hill. I think here it's more just that there's a bunch of smells here on some stuff that she's a little concerned with. And we may there's some piece of, well, that's plastic that's gone through a bear is what that is, but I'm not sure why she'd be worried about that. Unless she's going to roll in it, which we're going to try to avoid. Come on, Mooney. Can we go this way? Here we go. Here we go. Now you'll notice that I have kind of a deep gravelly voice unless I'm talking to the wolves. And people are like, oh, you sound so queer when you're talking to the wolves. Well, wolves perceive the environment 33% faster than we do. They're on bullet time compared to us. And when you speak in your normal voice, you sound like a 45 RPM record played at 33 for you old folks that know what vinyl records sound like. So when I'm really addressing my animals, it's always high, squeaky, fast. Because that's what they hear better and that they know I'm talking to them. And they respond to it better. They're more comfortable with it. It's more their language. Gentle, soft, fast, sweet. Like, I don't really want to get dragged through this thorn here. Come on, Mooney. Come on, Mooney. Let's go. Come on. So if it gets too much darker here, I'll pop out a headlamp. But then I won't be able to turn the camera around on myself at all because all you'll see is the glare. Squeeze toy. Uh-oh, what's wrong, Meanie? So she's backing up out of here a little bit. Something she doesn't like. All right, let's circumvent. Here, let's go this way. Come on. Can we go this way? Sometimes when they don't want to go somewhere, it's as simple as just 20 yards of the trail. They don't like something that they smelled or whatever. So I'm always prepared for a little detour. A little detour. Sometimes it's a big detour. I've had 5-mile detours before, but try to avoid those. Those are mostly with Icknick. Icknick will be like, nope, I don't want to go anywhere near that. I've been on hikes with Icknick where we've walked around the lake and we're like 3/4 way around the lake, and Icknick was like, nope, I don't like this side of the lake. And Icknick is 150 pounds. And at a certain point, you're like, okay, it's easier just to walk back the way we came than it is to try to figure out what it is about this last piece of the lake that Icknick isn't having. So we're going to be out of this little dark crevasse here in a sec. We're just going down to this little water crossing. So bear with the darkness here for 1 sec. I don't want to break out the lamp before I need to. Come on, Meanie. Sometimes they don't like this spot because people dismount their bikes and do weird stuff here with this water. I think we're going to be good today, though. Come on, Meanie. Oh, so dark. Sorry, guys. Her name is Mooney. It's actually Taquiq, T-A-Q-Q-I-Q, which means moon in an indigenous language in Inuktitut. Come on, Mooney. Can we go this way? She's in a bunch of grass now. I think she might want to have a little bite of grass. Oh, she's peeing on the grass. All right, careful there. Oh, big scrape. All right, come on, Mooney. Can we go this way? Most of my animals scent mark here, and so she's just reinforcing that mark. We can get out of this little drainage into the... We'll come back into the light. It's so dark in there. It's actually pretty dark everywhere now. Yeah, we're in a little hole here. Who is that behind me? Haha, nobody's behind me. So I'm in California. Wolves will eat grass for their digestive system, won't they? Yes, they will. Hey, need you. Nice to see you. Welcome. You're catching us here as we lose the last of the sun. The headlamp is going to come out here in just a minute, I think. Everyone's kind of hoping Mooney's going to check in with her pack and give us a howl. She might do that here in a minute. Because I can hear her family back at the habitat. We're about maybe 2/3 of a mile from home now. That's it, Nick. Well, dogs and wolves. So dogs should have almost the same diet. Oh, she doesn't like this spot. We're going to go around. You want to go this way around? Okay. We're going this way around. Can we go this way, Mooney? Come on. Nope, she's not liking this either. Let's see if I can coax her. Something about this area the last few days. I don't know what was going on here, but something is Freaked out all my animals when we come through here. Nope, you don't want to? Okay. So this is what I'm talking about working with these animals when you're out. Now I'm going to see if I can get her to go on this side here of the trail. What happened is a tree came down here a while ago, and people have been like doing non-standard stuff as a result of the tree. This is where I went with Icknick the other day, so maybe she'll feel better about this. I'm sure she could smell Icknick. And let me accept that I need to get a lamp out of my belt here. That's going to take me a second of digging around in the little pocket. You see our pink moment here. We're getting through that pink moment at the end of the day. All right, headlamp. Here we come. She used to panic when I wouldn't answer the phone when I was out on a hike, but then she realized she could check my position, and so if I'm moving, she knows everything's fine. Come on, Manny. And now we're past the down tree. I think we should be good. She's still skeptical of the trail. Come on, let's go this way. Come on, Manny. Trying to return us to the route here. Oh, you're okay. Something spooked her here. All right. We're past the weird stuff. So for those of you all that want to support my nonprofit, I'll just do a little tiny ask. We are TahoeWolfCenter.org. And I have a YouTube shop here with some cute merch. You can also subscribe to the channel. And as a channel member, you'll see you get a little icon that's got Mooney on it. Mooney seems to be a subscriber favorite because she's just so Mooney. It's funny. I mean, all of my animals are spectacular in their own way, but for sure the one that people are like, oh my God, that one, it's always Mooney. Something about her petite features and her pale green eyes, and she's a little fox-like, I think, which is also part of it. She's like a silver fox, a very big silver fox. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that. So anyway, yeah, if you want to support us, our merch shop, joining a channel as a member, if you do that, you need to send me an email to TahoeWolfCenter@gmail.com with your subscriber name and address, and I'll send you a personal gift, a very wolfy gift. So that's that. And then the other thing is you could buy my book. I have a best-selling book on Amazon. It's called The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs. And it'll give you and your dog the best relationship you can have. It's not a dog training book at all. It's about understanding your dog and giving it the opportunity to have the best, most interesting life based on my 40 years of wolves and dogs. Really? Are we really doing this? I guess we're doing this. Okay, so this is early in the chat. I was explaining why I dress the way I do on hikes, and it's because invariably I end up having to go not where I wanted because the wolves don't want to go somewhere, or they want to go somewhere, and it means I end up hacking through the bush. And so Mooney has decided tonight that the trail is no bueno, and so now we're just off-piste here. in the dark, in the woods. Luckily, I know these woods like the back of my hand, like every inch of it. I mean, I even know where every piece of derelict fence lies. This used to, see, this is a fence line here. This used to be cattle country. Cattle ruined. The reason that there's no big game herds and no wolves here is because in the 1800s, they grazed cattle here and they ruined the environment. And what's left is derelict fence like this right here with old barbed wire and no deer or elk because the cattle crowded it out and they never came back. Mooney, let's go this way. Come on. Sorry for turning around here. I'm letting me figure out where she wants to go. Here, let's go this way then. Come on. I cannot believe how many of my regulars are on tonight. Wow, Saturday night's a good time. Y'all are chilling on YouTube tonight. Mooney, let's go this way. Come on. Gotta kind of cajole her here for a second. Make our way back to the trail. Yeah, they don't let you camp here though. So yes. Thank you, George. I really appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Reverie. I so appreciate that. Wolf over sleep. I choose wolves over sleep too. In fact, stay tuned for a cautionary tale about wolves and intercepted mail. We had quite a fiasco like 4 nights ago. And I will be posting about that. That's a tease, yes, but I'll be posting about an apocalypse that happened when my wolves intercepted the mail. It was not good. It turned out fine, but there was a moment where it was pretty stressful and not good, and also not the cheapest thing that's ever happened to me. But you'll have to subscribe or at least check back in for when wolves intercept the mail, chaos ensues. And in this case, it really did. Oh my, I looked out the window and I saw a nightmare out my window. And I was like, oh my God, what did they get? And then it was like a 5-alarm wolf fire. Yes, I walk every one of my animals as often as I can. So, Thomas, we used to do more of that. The problem is that if I did that now, I would have to do it without my wife because taking 5 animals and a dog, especially when some of them don't get along with each other, is super complex. So the only time we do that is really for an emergency. We actually have a school bus, a schoolie that's all converted for being off the grid with the wolves. But that's like if we're evacuated because of a fire. A few years ago, there was a huge fire in our area and they evacuated our community for 30 days. And we had to go to my friend's place, Mission Wolf in Colorado, which is 31 hours away each way. At the time, we only had 3 animals, but we were really lucky that he had space for us, and we stayed there for a whole month, which I loved hanging out with my buddy. The animals didn't like it as much. It was stressful for them, and my wife was pretty stressed because it wasn't clear if our house was going to burn down. But after that, we were like, we got to have a school bus so we can evacuate everybody and be off the grid. And so we have it set up where we, have impact crates and we can erect, short-term containment and, just be parked somewhere. We would bring a second vehicle, take our take our rig, go off the grid onto BLM land somewhere and ride it out like that. It would be fun though. That's not a vacation, that's an emergency. And the stress level is off the charts. You want to go this way now? Boy, Mooney has really had her own ideas about where we're going at the end of this hike here. Sorry, when I'm walking in the dark, it's a little hard for me to respond to the comments timely just because I can't, my eyes don't adjust. Hold on. Not a coyote. It sure is. Icknick has a very distinctive howl. Icknick and Mooney sound alike. A Kutuk, my Arctic, has, but yeah, Icknick has a higher pitched howl than you would expect for his size, but it's very loud. And now it's everyone. If I howl, Mooney might howl for us now. Let's see, Mooney. And now we're quite close. We're less than a quarter mile from the habitat. Just got to kind of pop over a little ridge here, and then we're on the road that leads to my property. All right, guys, bear with me for a sec here. I'm going to put my phone in the little chest rig. I'm going to deal with, I've been dealing with a charging cable, but I want to put it away so that I can, when I get close to the habitat, I usually put my phone in the rig here so I can open the gate and do all that stuff. But the first thing is to get the cable from risking being wrapped around my legs or some dumb like that. Okay. Thank you guys very much. Yep, that's exactly. No, I do not have any wolf dogs. I have an Alaskan Malamute and 5 wolf ambassadors. Am I dying? Hey, Colleen. It's quite the symphony. Yeah, most people have never had the chance to hear wolves howling back and forth like I get to all the time, and chance to see wolves so up close when they're howling, like be right there. And that's one of the reasons I like to share this stuff. That is true, but these are not that, right? There's definitely, I guess, a certain, oh, really? Okay. Well, this has been the interesting route selection from Mooney here. If y'all are wondering why I feel so comfortable walking so close to someone's house, it's because I know all these people. I've been here so long. Most of these people don't remember when there wasn't a guy living here with his animals. Come on, Moon, let's hop over this. Come on. And we're back on the road. Are we going straight through or you want to go around, Mooney? I do track every walk 2 different ways. Now you want to go over the top, huh? Oh, okay. So the walk is tracked on the Phi tracking collar that's on Mooney. I work with that company. I've helped develop, given them feedback on the development of the product for many years. Love those guys. It's the most important app that I have on my phone because it lets me know where you can actually see it on her collar right there, where all my animals are. It also gives me health data. It's incredibly important to me because our habitat is really big. And since the animals are outside at night, I wake up in the night and I can check the app and it lets me know, the geofence lets me know, are the animals where they're supposed to be? And I can go back to sleep, right? And I get notifications, and if somebody goes lost, I can actually turn on, I can even turn on the LED on the collar to help me be able to see if I need to. Oh, Mooney is pushing her luck today. Come on. All right. She's like taking the direct route home now. And you might see a little intense interaction here when she comes in because Sunny's usually mad. They get mad at each other when, in another 3 weeks or so, I will only be able to walk them together, Sunny and Mooney, because there's boundary aggression that happens when I reintroduce them. And when whoever's been out gets beat up by whoever stayed home. And so you'll probably see Sunny take a pretty aggressive and dominant posture towards Mooney here in a second. And Mooney's fur is already starting to stand up in anticipation of a little intense interaction here. I will not get in the middle of it. I will let them do what they do because human intervention actually makes things worse. They will work it out without any injuries. It'll just be noisy for a sec probably. You see Mooney's already walking a little stiff here. And Noonie is there. And Icknick is actually in the back with a Kutak. So Noonie's not excited to get back. She's squeaking. Oh, okay. That's Nunariak's greeting. Noonie has the craziest vocalizations of any animal I've ever had, including that one that sounds kind of like a bird, which is how he says hi. He goes, hi, Noonie. Noonie's huge. I think Noonie will be bigger than Icknick here in another 6 months. Oh, all right, let's be nice. See? So, y'all are going to see real, this is real behavior. So I got to unleash. Hey, you be chill. All right. Sonny's beating up on Mooney a little bit. And Mooney is not stoked that Nepente's with her boyfriend Iknik either. So, all right. So be prepared here. I'll take this out so y'all can see. But this is going to be pretty intense. This is what happens. It's just a little intensity. And Sonny and Mooney kind of go back and forth over who's the boss of who. And I'm hoping to keep that dynamic stable during breeding season. But if it gets to where I'm afraid anybody's going to hurt anybody, then we'll just separate them. All right. Well, that's about all she wrote, folks. I am home. And you can see my front door. I had to put copper here because they're going through the solid core. And they're going through the copper now, and I'm going to have to put plate metal here. Because they jump up and scratch on the door when they want their food. And they've literally clawed their way through hammered copper. So, plate metal is next. I've got a piece on order. Use the alpha label with Wolf Care. It's that they don't know what they're doing. The long and short of it is they are not knowledgeable. If that's no, you're not coming in the house. You're not. I know you think it's a plan, but it's just not a plan for you right now. Nope. Look at this. She's gonna stick her nose in the door. Boop. And see, when I said we have a second gate, that's a security gate so that if they get in here, they can't get in there. Because if they get in there, if the dog is in the house, then they could kill each other. So we have secondary. And then we have this. This tells us who's where, right? So like I know where people are. I have my little, and then of course you'll see like we are set up for what we do, right? Bike gloves are right here. You know, all my emergency gear is right at the door. You know, everything here is just all set up for what I do. This pack that I'm wearing here, I guess I'll show you all here. And shoulder it. So the GoPro is in case I see a loose dog mostly, and I start recording so that if there's an incident, I can document that the dog was loose and I didn't do anything wrong that will save the lives of my animals, because we don't break any rules. So here's a pack that I was carrying this whole hike. It's called the Thor Jammer 3 by Mystery Ranch, and it's got a full emergency survival kit, including a med pack, muzzle for dog, a cable to tie up a dog if I'm injured and pinned down, because they'll chew right through this leash. It's got, you know, the backup battery, and then I have to set the phone down for this, so bear with me for a sec. I can show you guys. So the belt system I wear is handmade specifically for this work. I've probably walked 25,000 miles with this thing. And so what it includes is, so it was a weightlifting belt at one time, and I sewed extra leather around the base of it. And then I put a piece of webbing with D-rings around the back. And on that I hang a bush knife, a sharpener, a ferro rod for starting fires, magnesium. Like if I'm out, like if there's an emergency, I can be out for days. I can make fire no matter how wet it is. This little thing that's all duct taped here is what held my light. This has medical gloves and just a little pouch, Dyneema pouch. And then on the front of it, the animal is actually attached to this rope, so they can pivot around me without just pulling me around directly. And then the animal's rope is this, right? And so I wear that, and so I carry that with my big knife and all that stuff. And then the pack has everything I need. Like if an animal got injured, I have a secondary sling that can drop off the frame, and I can put an animal in a sling Rest in pepperoni. So yeah, sorry about that lag there. It grabs the Wi-Fi and then it messes up. Yeah, I don't know what. Well, because I thought it was smooth enough that they wouldn't go through it. Hey, Night Sky, I will do so. Yeah, the dire wolves are. If you're really interested in that, I did a whole live about the quote unquote dire wolves, and um, I mean, first of all, they're not dire wolves. Secondly, they have obvious genetic defects. I think that they could have spent $2 billion buying habitat and done a lot more for the world. They're not Rottweilers. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a good pack. You can get them for. They're really comfortable. They're not the lightest pack in the world, but they're the best. Like I have Kuiu, Mystery Ranch, are my two primary packs. My bigger, for a while I was really about I love the Kuiu clothes. That's what I'm wearing here. These are Kuiu pants, and the Kuiu packs are lighter for sure. Like for a big expedition where I need like a 5,000 cc pack, but I found that the Mystery Ranch just fits me better, and so even though it's heavier, it's still more comfortable for me. And I'd rather have extra weight and be really comfortable than have something super light, but that is just doesn't fit me as well. Like and the problem that I could modify the Kuiu actually. Sorry, I'm gonna put my hat on and my headlamp. We can go back outside for 1 second here. I could modify the Kuiu. The problem is that the back of the Kuiu has these load lifters that are really tall, and they stick up above your shoulders. And the problem is that, especially in the summer, I like to wear like a boonie cap. And when I'm wearing a boonie, let me go back out and look at the animals here for a sec. When I'm wearing a boonie, it hits the back of the stays of the pack, and it just drives me nuts. And I can't, and I don't want to give up the hat with Noonie, with the coverage, but so I sacrifice the weight to wear a hat. Oh, hi, Sonny. I know. The girls, everybody loves me the most. Everybody loves me differently. Sonny wants to eat my face with kisses. Sonny is my troublemaker. Sonny can climb anything. It's ridiculous. When Sonny was 9 weeks old, a 6-foot-tall dog kennel couldn't hold her anymore. She'd climb right out of it. She'd climb right out. Now she's right between my legs because she wants me to scratch her chin behind my butt. Don't you? You're a crazy dog. You're a crazy dog. I call them dogs. Wolves are dogs. They're the form of they're the form of dog that nature made for us. They don't give an F about us. That's the thing. And this one here, Noonie, I call him Noonie no fucks. His nickname is Noonie F0 because he's got 0 Fs to give. None. And he's got a big flat wedge-shaped head and fuzzy ears. This one here. He's a handful. Aren't you? Mooney. And Icknick's in the back, but I can't go through the, it's tricky to get through the fence holding the phone because people want to clobber each other. Hi, Cindy. Oh, he jumped up behind me there. Oh gosh, that's so funny. Yes, people always think I'm Negan. It's so funny. So I am 50, I'll be 58 in about a month. What are you doing? See, Sonny is causing trouble. Where are the bodies? Yeah, people always say that I look like Negan. Even my wife thinks I look like Negan. Thank you, Rimbo. I'm glad you enjoyed. Most important things. Thank you very much. Neo Der Wolf. That's funny. Can I wait longer next time so I can catch? Would be sorry, not understanding there. God's mind. I don't understand. Can I wait longer? Do I camp? Yes, sometimes I take wolves camping, but that's tricky. I have to carry a lot. Sell this stuff. What should I sell in my store? Oh, the dog alarm barked, and now everybody's freaking out. I better go see what's happening. What is it I should sell in my store? That I'm curious about. Nepente, what's up? I don't know. I'm going to go back there if I can. Nope. Nope. Noonie, you're not. It's always tricky with Noonie. Noonie will rush a gate on me. Nope. Nepenthe, what is going on with you? Why is this not letting me open it? Oh, got it. All right. See, I have to use a double gate here. Nepenthe! Let's find out why my dog is freaking out. You can see the rest of the wolves. Nepenthe Star! Why are you stirring up shit? She's my shit stirrer. Nepenthe! So you can get some idea of my habitat here now as well. So you'll see what I'm talking about. What are you doing? She thinks she's a wolf. She's so naughty. And here comes my old lady. Ick Nick! Where's Ick Nick? Nepenthe, why are you having a meltdown? There's Ick Nick. Come here, Ick Nick. Here comes my big bull. Hi's, hellos, got everybody. So that animal's 14 and a half years old. That's a Kutak, my Arctic wolf. Hi, sweets. And she's still spicy as ever. Oh, there's something. What's going on over there? Why is everybody making a stink? Why? Oh, you want to give me a kiss? What? What? She says, no, I want you to scratch my butt. What is going on over there, huh? Oh, now you want to kiss. All right, Nepenthe, we must have a bear back here for her to be that riled up. Why are you so riled up? Yeah, I did a pretty in-depth video about the Direwolf project also. It's on my live, on the live tab on my channel. Why are you barking? What is going on? I know you sound really upset about it. Hey, what's up? So this animal here is bigger than me, or nearly. He weighs just a few pounds less, but he's taller when he stands up on me. I'm trying to see what's... I don't know. I don't know why you're barking. I don't know why everybody's barking. So this is our setup here, how we do this. If you try to use chain link here, the snow will just pull it down. Yeah, there's something got these guys' attention for sure. I don't know what I should sell. George, what should I sell in my store? Nepenthe! I wish I could see what the hell's got her so riled up. Hey, what? Is there a bear out there? Why are you so... All right, something really is upsetting you, but I don't know what it is. What is it? Is there a bear? Did you guys get a bear up a tree? What? Hey, what are you doing? All right, let's go inside. You come with me. Come on. Come on. Nepenthe, come with me. Everybody's all riled up. Come on, Nepenthe, come. We'll take her in the house. As long as everything's secure on the inside of the habitat, then we're good. Yeah, I know. Wolf, come on. Come on. People don't realize how big these animals are. So the dog there, the black and white animal with the curly tail, is about 85 pounds. And he looks like a Shiba Inu compared to Icknick. Don't you? Oh, Icknick wants a head scratch. He doesn't mess around. He'll just go right between my legs and insist on it. Won't you? Won't you? Oh, I know. I know. You're the nicest boy I've ever had. And Icknick smells like lavender and roses. I don't know why, but when you scratch him, it's the most amazing smell in the world. His natural scent. I know that sounds nuts, but he really does. He just smells like lavender and roses. He just has this amazing, you smell so good. As long as you haven't rolled in the bear poop. I know, it's almost dinner time. So the only way we can have an outdoor picnic is if we have a picnic table in a cage. We have a picnic table in a cage, because otherwise you guys will steal our food, won't you? Won't you? You're the nicest boy, I know. Oh, hey, Nepente, we're going to go inside. Come on. All right. And with that, folks, I think we're going to wrap this up here. Let me just do one last little, hey, don't open the door. They know how to open the door. It's chained from the inside. Otherwise, they push it open with their noses. So here, let me turn off my lamp here. Forget where the light can see me, kind of. So one last tiny little itty bitsy little shill for our channel and stuff. If you want to support our work, you can do that. Our merch shop has representatives of Icknick as if not friend, why friend shaped. Hoodies, t-shirts, stuff like that. And YouTube store. The nonprofit is the TahoeWolfCenter.org if you just want to donate to support us and the work that we do. My book is The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs. That's available on both Amazon and books.by. And lastly, if you want to support us directly by joining the channel, if you do that, send an email to me that just says new member and send it to TahoeWolfCenter@gmail.com with your mailing address and your username, and I will send you a Wolfie gift. And with that, I am going to sign off and wish you all a happy, howling, wolfy evening. We will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for hanging with me. I appreciate it.